This is a treat, because you're a good boy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my Q&A. Yeah! So a bunch of you wanted me to do the Q&A, so I'm doing it, and I have the questions up here on my phone. I'm just going to go through them randomly. I may answer the most asked questions first, and then I'll just go randomly through the rest. Okay. The most asked question is, why did you start YouTube and how did you start YouTube? What made you start YouTube? Why do you do YouTube? Those were the most asked questions. So to answer that, I would say, so I started my channel in January, this past January, so almost coming up on a year. And I started it, I think, mostly because I had been watching YouTube makeup videos for quite some time at that point, probably 2 years, and I had really started to just love makeup. Like, it became kind of an obsession, kind of like a hobby. And backing up a little bit, in college I played softball. That might sound random, but I promise it ties in. And softball was really like my thing, like my extra hobby that I did. Like, it was a way where I made friends, that sort of thing. And after college, I am still somewhat involved with softball. I do help coach a team of younger girls, but it's not like I'm actually doing it, you know what I mean? And makeup kind of became that hobby for me. And I was watching all these other YouTubers make these videos and connect with people, and I thought it also kind of tied into like being January and New Year's and kind of like a New Year's resolution. It kind of tied into like, this is your life. You have one shot at it. Do what you love. Stop watching people do what they love and you just sitting here behind the screen just like watching it. Why don't you do it too? And so that's basically why I started. I hope that makes sense. Another frequently asked question was, how did I start and like what advice would I give to someone who wants to start? I just did it. Like, there was no method to it. I just sat down in front of my camera. I use natural daylight, which in my house is really bad. We have so many big trees around each window. I didn't want to spend money on like a ring light and these umbrella lights I have and I would recommend not spending your money on that until you do a few videos and see if you even like it, because it is a little bit pricey. So I went to Target and got like 2 desk lamps and faced them at myself. It did not work. It did not work at all. I would not recommend doing that. Try to use natural daylight, but I happen to just have a camera, a nicer camera. I use a Canon EOS Rebel T3i. That was another question asked. I just had it because a couple years prior, Nick got me a camera for my birthday. I had asked for one. I wanted to get a little bit more into photography. It never crossed my mind that I was going to be using the camera for makeup tutorials. I thought I was just going to use it for like recreational photography and stuff like that. But so I just happened to have a camera. Honestly, if you have an iPhone these days, the camera on the iPhone's really good. I know a lot of people film on their iPhones as long as you have enough storage. So I would just start by filming and using the very basics and just see if you even like it. Who is your favorite beauty YouTuber? Your favorite vlogger? I would say my absolute favorite would be SMLX0, Steph Letta. She is from like the Utica area, and I'm actually from Western New York, kind of Buffalo area, so she's actually not that far from me. And I feel like whenever I say that, I'm like so stalkerish, because I'm like, she's only 4 hours away, like maybe we'll run into each other. But yeah, she's definitely my favorite. She has almost 1 million subscribers. She's been doing YouTube for like 5, 6, 7 years maybe, but she's definitely my favorite. I feel like we just have a lot in common. We have kind of the same accent. That was another question, I think on the Instagram post, was, I'm having a hard time placing your accent. Where are you from? I'm from Western New York, so like the opposite side of New York from where New York City is. When or why did you first get into makeup? I kind of answered that. I really, like probably 3 years ago now, I really got into makeup. Really started watching YouTube videos, but I've kind of always been into makeup. Like, I've always been more into makeup than most of my friends or most of the girls I know, and that definitely started in probably middle school when I would watch What Not to Wear. Remember that show on TLC with Stacy and Clinton? My favorite part of that, though, was when Carmody would come on and do their makeover. That was like probably where I learned the basics of makeup. Being like a 13-year-old girl, that's probably where I learned the basics, was Carmody. Are you an MUA with clientele? No, I am not a certified makeup artist. I do not do this for a living. I have done people's makeup just for, like, I did someone's makeup for prom, but it's so different. Doing makeup on someone else versus doing it on yourself is so different. It's much harder to do it on someone else. What are your goals with YouTube, and what are some of your other talents, passions, and are you pursuing them as well? My goal with YouTube is to meet people who also love makeup, build a community, learn more about makeup. That was one of my biggest goals, was just personal development. So that was kind of my goals. And then other talents, passions, I guess I would say softball, and I am sort of pursuing that in helping coach a team. The girls I coach, they're awesome. I think some of them watch my channel, so love you guys, but they're like 15 years old, so yes, I'm pursuing that, but more just, again, for fun. This was a question I got asked a lot. Do you have a boyfriend or are you married? I am married. I always wear this ring. I know I don't really wear my engagement ring, honestly, because it doesn't fit quite well anymore. I was a lot, like, thinner when I got married, and my fingers were thinner, so it's kind of tight, but this is my wedding ring. I am married. I have been married for a little over 4 years now, and Nick is my husband's name. Another question that I'll tie in with that is, I got asked a couple times how old I am. I am 26 years old, so yes, I got married young. Yeah. Ooh, this is a cool question. If you were stranded on an island, what makeup product or skincare product would you absolutely need? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with concealer. Definitely concealer, because as long as your skin looks good, like, I think you're okay. What is one place you want to visit and why? I would say Italy. I was just talking with some people at work. Actually, 4 different people I work with have been to Italy. And yeah, I've always wanted to go to Italy. My 5th grade project, that was like, we had to pick a country and do a project on it. I picked Italy. I've always been interested in Italy. I love Italian food. I have seen pictures and it's gorgeous, so I'd want to go to Italy. Okay, this question I thought was so cute. How do you know if someone you just met could possibly like you more than just a friend? I love questions like this. That's like one of my favorite things to do. I remember, like, in high school, middle school, high school, college, like, talking with friends about boys or whatever, and like giving each other advice. I just love that. This question reminded me of that. So how do you know if someone you just met could possibly like you more than a friend? I think definitely, like, just if they're, like, paying attention to you. If you're in a group and that person is looking at you, like, if you make eye contact a lot, and you can, like, hold that eye contact. Like, if they're looking at you and you look at them back and they're looking still, I think there's something there. I don't know, and just if they're, like, paying more attention to you, like standing closer near you all the time, or trying to, like, talk with you more. If they laugh at everything you say, even if it's not funny, they like you. Favorite food? I have so many favorite foods. If I did not care what I looked like, did not care about just letting myself go and eating whatever I want, fettuccine alfredo. Fettuccine alfredo all day. Yes. What is your full-time job? So, no, I don't just do YouTube for a living, but my full-time job right now I actually love. I'm a recruiter, and so I find, specifically accounting and finance, so I find people jobs with clients of ours, companies that are looking for accountants, you know, finance people. I recruit them. I find them, tell them about the jobs we have, and then they go interview and all that stuff. So I'm at a desk all day and meeting people. Ooh, I like this question. What recent beauty trend do you absolutely hate? That is such a good question. Here, I have one. It's not that I hate how it looks. I just hate it that, how do I say? It's not wearable whatsoever. I hate the glossy lid trend because I tried it once. I put some gloss on my lids. My eyelids just felt sticky all day, and no matter what product you use that says it doesn't feel sticky, it does. So I hate that trend. I hate the glossy lid trend. I am not a fan. Is that your real eye color? Yes, this is my real eye color. Yeah, I don't wear colored contacts. Besides Kip, who is your bestie? Kippy, they ask about you. Your cute face isn't even in the frame. I would say I have two. Nick and my mom. Definitely Nick, just because he's my husband, he's my best friend. But my mom is also like my best friend. I see my mom at least 3 times a week. I talk to her every day. We have a Snapchat streak. What are we at now? 435 days. That's our Snapchat streak. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, my mom is definitely my bestie. Okay, here's a good one. I think you said in one of your videos that you studied English in school. You were an English major. So I'm wondering what your favorite scholarly book is and what your favorite book is in general. My favorite scholarly book is definitely The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I fell in love with that book and just Cormac McCarthy as a writer. That would have been sometime in high school. Love that book. And he also, another book of his I love is All the Pretty Horses. A lot of his books they've made into movies. They made The Road into a movie, All the Pretty Horses into a movie. No, what's it called? No Country for Old Men. Is that something like that? So yeah, that. And then my favorite book in general, like if I had to choose one book in the world, would definitely be the Bible. It sounds like the Sunday school answer, but it's the truth. It's just a little insight to myself. Yeah, definitely. I'll even leave in the description bar my favorite verse. It's from Romans 5. Definitely a good pick-me-up for sure. Last question. Where do you get your inspiration from? Really nice question. I get my inspiration. That's such a good question. I don't know. I think like just colors. Like I know whenever I have to drive in early and I see a sunset, or if I'm driving around sunset is at night, Faith. Okay, whenever I'm driving early in the morning and I see a sunrise, or driving and seeing a sunset, I'm driving a lot. It takes a while for me to get to my office. But yeah, whenever I'm driving and like looking at the sky, that is my favorite. So I guess nature. And then when it comes to makeup, the most inspiring thing for me is definitely like an eyeshadow palette. If an eyeshadow palette has colors that really inspire me, that's basically how I plan my whole look. I would generally say I plan my looks around what eyeshadow colors I want to do. Come here. You gotta be in frame. Okay guys, that wraps up my Q&A with the little Kip. Sorry his little face was not in most of the video. He's sleepy. He has a hurt paw. We think it's a sprain. He's been limping a little bit. So, poor baby. That wraps up my Q&A. I'm sure in the future I'll do more, but thank you guys so much for having an interest and asking me questions. It really meant a lot to me. And yeah guys, thanks for watching. I love you and I'll see you in my next one. Say bye, Kip. Say bye.